Hello, angels. That's how I'm going to address you from now on because I think all of us are angels. So, even if sometimes we're naughty angels. Following on to my last video about meditation, I had a question about that in terms of reduction of anxiety and depression, and that in particular, I think the person who was asking the question was curious about the connection between mindful meditation and a reduction in anxiety and depression. And there's a scientific explanation for it in terms of the default mode network of our brain, which is the part of the brain that's really active when we're either thinking about ourselves and our self-narrative, or when our mind is wandering, right? When we're not engaged in a particular task. And when our mind is wandering is when we tend to go future tripping and creating anxiety, or looking back into the past and feeling guilt or shame or being sad about things that have happened in the past. And then those activities, those thoughts, as we've discussed before, they create chemistry in your brain that goes down into your body. Your body becomes used to that, and then your body begins to signal to your mind, oh, we need more of those, anxiety producing or depressive thoughts so that we can keep that chemistry going, because that's what we think we need, right? So meditation, in particular, mindful meditation, where you are becoming aware of your thoughts, okay, of what your monkey mind, it's sometimes called, what that mind wandering is doing, what directions you're wandering in your head, right? Meditation allows you to become aware of that. Regular practice of meditation allows you to turn the default mode network off, i.e., reduce the amount of wandering thoughts, which then reduces anxiety and reduces depression and increases our ability to focus on the present moment. Which, again, if you're not future tripping and you're not past tripping, then you're in the present moment and your anxiety is down and your depression is down. So that's a very simplistic explanation. I do want to go a little bit into just one thing about meditation, and that is that a lot of people will tell people, teachers or whatever will say, oh, you just need to empty your mind of thoughts. Well, when I was told that originally, when I first started on my meditational journey and practice, that just seemed like an impossible task. I was like, well, how do I do that? That's not really helpful. So here's a thought. One way that I like to think about that is as if I'm sitting on a bus stop, right? And those thoughts that are wandering, that are coming through my head, right? Whatever those thoughts are, that I'm deciding not to get on that bus, that I'm just watching those thoughts pass, but I'm staying at the bus stop. I'm not getting on the bus. I'm not getting on the bus. And then sometimes I do get on the bus. Sometimes a thought will catch me and I'll get on the bus and I'll go down the road, right? Whether that's reversing into the past or going forward into the future. I'll catch one of those buses, I'll get on it, and then I'll realize, oh, I'm on the bus. I don't want to be on this bus. So I'll get off the bus and go back to the bus stop and sit and watch those thoughts just go by again and just keep going by. And if you continue to practice that, not giving those thoughts any energy, not giving those thoughts any more attention other than, I acknowledge you, I see you, but I'm not going with you. I'm not going there right now. That is a way that I have personally found it to be helpful to work with my meditation. I have other ways of doing it as well, but if I'm going to do a seated meditation where I'm doing a mindful practice, that is one way that I do it. I will just watch the thoughts go. Some people think of them like clouds. You're just watching the clouds go by. But I like the bus idea because we do get on the bus sometimes, and sometimes a lot of times, particularly in the beginning, and then we have to train ourselves not to get on the bus. That's part of training our mind to come back and sit. We want to sit at the bus stop, right? We want Catherine to come sit at the bus stop and not get on the bus. So that is why so that's one way to work on mindfulness so that you can reduce anxiety and depression. Remember, it's a practice. This is not something that's going to just start happening the first couple of days you do this. You may notice a difference. You may become more aware of those thoughts that they come. And that's great, because then you start to see patterns, right? And then you know, like, oh, okay, this is my monkey mind, like throwing stuff at me, but I'm not getting on that train because I don't want to be anxious and I don't want to feel bad about myself. So the reason it does that is actually rooted in brain science. We now know that the default mode network stands down when we're focused on allowing those thoughts to pass, not letting our mind wander, essentially, or letting it wander, but not going with it, right? Not going with it. Our thoughts may be going, but we are not going down that path with those thoughts. We are not wandering with those thoughts. We're not getting on the bus. So I hope that's helpful, angels. I'm going to do another one about the void next. Mwah! Until next time.